the RPS project. I'm Richard, and today I've got this thing. It's a HP Stream. It's a slightly old model notebook that I've recently bought at a knockdown price. It was said to be new. It arrived not looking quite new. There's some scratches on the front, not particularly pleasing. Didn't come in its original box. So, is it any good? Does it work? Did I do right to buy it? Let's have a look at it anyway, find out. So here we have the HP Stream notebook with the nice HP logo on the front there. Heavy scratches, came that way, not impressed. So let's see what she's sporting. We've got HDMI, SS, super speed USB, so that's USB 3, micro SD slot, power cable slot with the little LED there, and on the other side we've got USB 2 and headphone. It's a headphone and microphone, supposedly dual purpose, with a locking mechanism there for the locking. On the bottom, rubber feet. It's not too bad, quite a nice size. Speakers, they're the speakers, which yeah, never mind. And that's all there is to write home about, so not too bad. So let's open it up and have a look at the keyboard. So cracking the screen back, it's a bit goofy because you haven't got much to, there's no like little lip or anything to grab hold of, so it's a bit to open, but it does, it's quite stiff. There's, you know, it's not flopping about anywhere, so that's alright. Keypad, it's okay. I mean, there's a certain clunk there to it when you're typing. Now it feels okay, but when you're on the touchpad, now this is a bit glitchy, because it seems to make the board move, and when I first had it, some of the keys were a bit dodgy. You'd do this and the key would activate, or the keys then wouldn't work properly, or the touchpad wouldn't be responsive. Your left and right mouse click is actually in the corner of the touchpad, which is a bit odd, but I suppose you get used to it. And there's a click in there, but generally it seems to work okay. Screen, yeah, it's not bad. It's nice and clear. You know, it opens up to that point. That's as far as it'll go. But yeah, it's not bad. Microphone up here with camera. So you know, it does what it should do. No number pad, just numbers on the top. But hey, you know, what more do you want? It does, or seem to do, what you want it to do. So yeah, it could be better. Could be a bit more strength in this bit pad here underneath the pad. But yeah, fairly solid and steady. So better turn it on, I suppose. Right, so let's turn this thing on and see what happens, and see how quick it works. On goes the power button. Still waiting. It's not, oh, HP, well, it's getting there. It's not too bad. And oh, we're almost in. That's quite quick, really. I'm not timing this, but that seemed pretty quick. Windows screen there. It's nearly loaded up, and there we go. That yeah, that was reasonably good, reasonably well, reasonably whatever. It did it quite quickly. We'll just let Windows do whatever it does in the background, like it always does. You know, probably just uploading all my data to the cloud so it can sell it on to the lowest bidder to do whatever they do with it. I have tried to disable a bunch of stuff, so you know, to stop the telemetry, but you know, Windows is like, it would flog your grandmother to somebody if it could, I'm sure. Anyway, let's see what it does. I haven't got any games because I don't do games. partly because there's not a lot of memory. This has only got a 32GB memory in it, hard drive, or well, it's an SSD of some sort, as I said before. And as you can see, I've got just over 6.5 gig of memory left from 28GB of usable memory. A quick look at properties of that drive. Yeah, not a lot left in there. That is shockingly little left to put anything on. You've got the, you've got Windows and a couple of other things, and that's it. You're done. I've got a micro SD card in there, 32GB. So as much in the micro SD card I've actually got on the in the system. So I'll have to use that to store anything, put any information. So there you go. So let's have a look at a couple of things. So here we have CPU ID, CPU Z, and yes, it's an Intel Celeron N3050, socket 1150 with 1.6 gigahertz as its standard speed. It's okay, I mean, that's not too bad. It's L1 and L2 cache, that's fine. Nothing really much to say about it. Motherboard is a HP. Well, it is a HP, so there you go. Not much else can say about it. DDR3 memory in this. It's a slightly older machine, so that's what it's got in there. 2GB of DDR3, so it's not going to be lightning about anything. So, and there's not much else to say about it other than that. I suppose I could benchmark it with using this reference. Or shall I not? No, because it'll be terribly slow and not do too much. Yeah, come on, why not? Let's choose something. What reference shall I choose? Well, I'm going to go with the i5 7600K. It's nearly what I've got in my main machine, which is a 7600. Let's just bench that, shall we, and see what it gives me as a reference point. It's not going to be spectacular, not by any way. Multi-thread. Well, the reference is 1837, and the this machine's giving 153.7, and the single thread reference is 480, and this processor is 75.6. So pull the skin off a rice pudding, I suppose, but there you go. So let's have a look at something else then. So here we have Crystal Disk 6. Let's give the system, the hard drive, bit of a going over. See how good or slow it is, and see if it's of any use. I'm sure it'll be okay. It's not particularly large, 32GB. Yeah, but it is an SSD. So let's set this going. So here we have some results. As you can see, it looks okay. It seems to work fine. I don't know if that's particularly fast or particularly slow. I'd have to, I suppose, save the results and match it up against, compare it against something else, maybe my main rig or some other data that's possibly been posted on the internet of things. And see if it's if that's a sensible speed or whether it's like a retarded slug or something. I don't know. So yeah, I think I'll have to save that and do some comparisons. And finally, the last test, of course, has got to be Cinebench. I've got Cinebench R15 here, so I think what I'll do is I'll run the OpenGL first and see how that works, see how that goes, and then I'll do the CPU. So Let's see how well this goes. I'm not expecting anything spectacular because, I mean, it's only a little thing that's got internal HD graphics, so it's certainly not going to wow me, is it? Still preparing. Suppose it'll get there at some point once it's finished. Here we go. Thing's about to take off. Yeah, graphics look a bit blocky. It's a bit stuttery, but it's doing it. Never quite understood this particular test, why it's got to be 2 cars. Don't know, why can't we have 2 aircraft or 2 people running? I don't know, perhaps a cheetah or something. But we've got 2 cars. One of them's crashed by the looks of it. Yeah, there you go. And we've got a score of 11.95 frames per second. So yeah, it does it. It's okay. Nothing special, definitely. I wouldn't want to play games on this machine. So let's try the CPU. It's not even preparing yet. They're going to get on with it. Oh, here we go. Well, yeah, here we go. Come on. The first 2 blocks are taking forever. I mean, what's this thing got in it? Hamsters? Well, while this thing takes its time with Cinebench, let's go over the specs for this anyway. This thing is the HP Stream notebook. The particular one I've got is the 11R001NA Energy Star, in brackets, sporting the Intel Celeron N3050, as we've already established, with the HD graphics, 1.6 GHz up to 2.16 GHz. I suppose that must be a boost in there. With 2 MB cache, 2 cores, which is why it's doing Cinebench so blindingly fast. And as we saw, 2 GB of DDR3 SD RAM, Intel HD graphics, as I said, 32 GB eMMC SSD drive. Now the display is a 29.5 cm or 11.6 inch HD anti-glare WLED backlit, 1366 by 768. So it's nothing spectacular. It's not massive, big, or hugely entertaining, but I suppose as long as you can see it nice and clearly, which does seem to be all right. It's clear enough. A little bit of glare on there with really bright light, but this seems to be giving a good enough image quality. I do have a full-sized, it says island style keyboard. There's no keypad with this. Just have to use numbers on the top of the keyboard. That's alright. I mean, don't have to have a keypad, do we? It has a HP image pad with multi-touch gesture support. Don't quite know what that really means. As I showed earlier, the pad's a bit goofy, especially with the fact that you've got the corners you've got to touch to act as left and right buttons. As I said, I've already got a micro SD card, 1 slot, 1 HDMI, microphone, USB 2, 1 USB 3, as I showed you earlier, and all in all, that's pretty much it. So it's a ditty little thing with okay specs. There you go. What more can you ask for? And Cinebench is taking its good old time. So there you go. Cinebench, having taken its good ass time about it, has given me a score of 62 for the CPU. Can you believe it? 62. You're right, you didn't hear wrong. It is, say that again, 62. Something else I've noticed that Cinebench on telling me about my system. It tells me I've got a Intel Celeron N3050, 2 cores, 2 threads, 1.6 gigahertz. It also tells me that I've got Windows 8, 64-bit. Now, I know that that's not true. I'm running Windows 10 supposedly. So why is Cinebench giving me Windows 8? Why is it telling me that that's the operating system? If anybody knows, put it in the comments. But yeah, nothing spectacular about that. So all in all, it's a bit of a slow slug. It does the job. It's I got it basically for using on the internet, getting around the internet, looking at things. You know, if I need to quickly look something up and I don't want the big box on, or I'm doing something else on that, I can just hop on the on this machine and have a look and find what I need. Would you like to save your benchmark score? I suppose I could, but I know they're pretty awful, so I'm not going to. No. So there you go, the HP Stream Notebook. Not a bad little device. Probably do for what I want. Surf the internet, maybe play a bit of music. Not doing games, not into games. So yeah, but is it worth it? Is it worth what I paid for it? I think original pricing was something like about 190 or 200 pounds in the UK. Probably sort of $250, $260. I paid 115. Knockdown bargain price. That's about $152 now, or 131 euros. So was it worth it? I suppose I'll find out over time as I use it, and hopefully as long as those glitches on the keyboard and notepad have gone away and don't reappear, then yeah, I suppose it'll be all right. Very limited on memory, but well, there you go. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and all comments are welcome. Now I'm off to eat some chocolate. Bye.